My skin so full within of jolly good ale and old. Traditional English drinking song. In 1578, the cosy duopoly of Portugal and Spain over international trade beyond Europe was violated by an Englishman with a red beard and an unpleasant temper. Francis Drake, following the route pioneered more than 50 years before by Magellan and not attempted since, sailed into the Pacific, where he raided every Spanish settlement between Valparaiso and Acapulco. He burned down their houses, freed their slaves, sank their ships, and carried off their treasure. His greatest prize was the Cacafuego, a Manila galleon laden with spices, silk, and bullion. His incidental captures yielded substantial quantities of Spanish and South American grown wine, including 1,770 skins of the Chilean vintage of 1577. Drake coasted up America as far as present-day San Francisco, where he claimed the land for his queen, received the submission of the native chiefs, and named the region Nova Albion. He and the complement of his ship, the Golden Hind, were probably the first men ever to drink wine in northern California. After repairing his vessel, Drake reached off over the Pacific to Asia, where he gate-crashed the spice trade before heading home for England and a knighthood. The appearance of an English ship in those parts of the world that the Pope had confirmed as belonging to Catholic Spain and Portugal was as unexpected as it was unwelcome. In retrospect, it was inevitable. During the same decades that they had been exploiting their respective spheres of influence, a schism among European Christians had thrown the home continent into disarray. Within a period of about 30 years between 1520 and 1550, northern Germany, Switzerland, Scandinavia, England, and parts of the Low Countries had rejected the authority in matters spiritual of the Pope and the customs of his church, in favour of new, radical versions of Christianity. As this upheaval, the Reformation, progressed, pitting Protestant reformers against Rome, a battle royal took place for the moral high ground. The consumption of alcohol entered the debate, at first in metaphor, as each side accused the other of behaving like drunks. The Catholics claimed the Protestants were inebriated with power, whereas Protestants, to Catholic minds, had the corrupted thought processes of terminal alcoholics. Such accusations caused both sects to scrutinize the place of drink in their version of a Christian society. Martin Luther, if not the architect, then at least the catalyst of the Reformation, had strong views about the matter. In his opinion, it was certainly wrong that Catholic monks should touch alcohol, for it turned them into inebriated onanists. He spoke from experience. He had started in religion as a black-robed monk. Everyone else, however, could drink with an easy conscience, just as their Saviour had. Moreover, there were reasons to celebrate. We ought to give thanks to God for providing us with food and drink, and then, besides, liberating us from the papacy. If you are tired and downhearted, take a drink. Luther, in deed as well as word, was by and large pro-alcohol. He was provided with a barrel of Einbecker beer by the Duke of Brunswick to keep his spirits up during his first tussle with the Catholic Church, and his attitude to drink in general is summed up in one of his better-known sayings. Who loves not wine, women, and song, remains a fool his whole life long. He did, however, consider drunkenness to be unchristian, and it was sufficiently prevalent in the reformed German states, probably as a consequence of the spread of distilled spirits, to move him to speak against it. He depicted it as an epidemic which had erupted among the commoners, and latterly had contaminated society at every level, so that now those who are the greatest and best are beginning to fall, indeed even the princes. Now the 10-year-old milksops are beginning and ruining themselves in their flower. We preach, but who stops it? Those who should stop it do it themselves. Therefore Germany is a land of hogs. If you were going to paint it, you would have to paint a pig. Other Protestant reformers, notably Ludwig Heitzer, died 1529, took a harder line toward alcohol than Luther. The aim, after all, was not merely to correct the abuses of the Church, but also to make society pure. Like the fire and brimstone preachers of the medieval English pulpit, Heitzer believed that drinking inevitably